Disney Plus, woke and broke. Can it last another year? Disney Plus, the beloved streaming service, is facing some serious problems. They're losing millions of subscribers, and even worse, they're cutting shows and movies to save costs. Can you believe it? People are claiming Disney has gone woke, and now they're broke. It's not just the subscribers, Disney's stocks have been in a steady decline for a while now too. But why is this happening? Well, here's where things get interesting. The streaming industry, once a golden goose of easy money and accessibility, has now turned into a disaster. Companies are fighting tooth and nail for licenses and customers, and guess what? Everyone's losing. It's like a battle royale out there, and Disney Plus is feeling the heat. But why is this industry so ruthless now? Was it doomed from the beginning? Let's dive deeper and find out. What was the catalyst for Disney Plus's downfall, or was it just a ticking time bomb? We're going to explore these questions in detail, so make sure you stick around and hit the subscribe button now. We'll uncover the truth about Disney Plus's struggles and what it means for the streaming industry as a whole. Streaming platform history. It all started with the rise of Netflix, a game-changer in the entertainment industry. But how did they do it? They didn't have endless resources, they had innovation on their side. Netflix tapped into emerging tech trends, offering unparalleled convenience and lower prices. They were the disruptors, and viewers flocked to them, leaving the cable giants in the dust. Soon enough, other major players like Disney, Paramount and HBO entered the streaming arena, riding the newfound success of this revolution. It seemed like a golden era for streaming, an unstoppable force to be reckoned with. But here's the catch: while streaming was alluring to consumers with its affordability, it was far less profitable than cable. No ads and lower subscription fees meant that streaming only generated a fraction of what traditional TV did. Netflix and its peers were still lagging behind financially compared to cable giants. So, why stick with this model? Because these companies are playing the long game. It's not about quick profits anymore, it's about long-term gain. In the tech world, many companies will suffer years of losses for future profitability. Growth, market share, and customers are all the top priorities now. But times are changing. With the streaming industry saturated and customers spread thin, the lack of profits and rising costs are affecting even giants like Disney. Investors are starting to ask questions, and the heat is on to start increasing profits. Disney's mistakes. But even a colossus like Disney is facing huge challenges in the streaming space. Despite having a vast array of beloved brands like Pixar, Star Wars, Fox, Marvel, and many more, they've been spending huge capital into producing continuous shows just to keep subscribers from leaving. Sadly, the magic isn't lasting. Disney is no longer riding the financial wave of success, and the service has been dropping millions of subscribers. The money they've invested doesn't seem to be producing returns. Why? Well, the age of streaming loyalty is over. The industry has evolved, and the influx of competitors and individual services have changed customer habits. A surprising 39% of customers are now described as service hoppers, switching and resubscribing to various services depending on what's hot at the time. Disney has been trying hard to retrain these ever-moving customers, pouring huge amounts of money into projects to attract consumers who only stay for several months at a time. It's becoming a huge cost, with very little profit. It seems Disney may have overestimated the value of their old catalog of movies and properties. They're just not doing enough to produce long-term profits in this segregated streaming market. Senior Disney execs have realized that Disney Plus isn't the meal ticket they thought it was. The pressure is mounting as they aim to become profitable by 2024, a goal that might not even be possible. The battle for profitability and survival is causing tremors in the streaming world. Investors are piling on the pressure. But what does all this mean for Disney Plus? Can they be flexible enough to change, or are they already doomed for failure? Well, we're already starting to see some new strategies appear. Introducing ads. Disney is slashing costs like never before. They're pulling the plug on over 30 series and films from Disney Plus, including some big-budget movies. Cutting these shows might seem crazy, but it's all in the name of keeping investors happy and reducing those hefty licensing costs. Removing content from a streaming service may seem like a bold move, but it's a strategic one. Disney is set to save a jaw-dropping $3 billion by saying goodbye to properties that were draining their funds without boosting customer engagement. But that's not all. Disney is shifting gears towards a more focused catalog, concentrating on their key brands. Plus, they're spreading out new shows to prevent overlap and reduce costs. In fact, Disney's CEO Bob Iger has announced that over 7,000 jobs will be cut soon. It's all part of their ambitious plan to make Disney Plus profitable by next year. It's definitely a challenge, but they're ready to tackle it head-on. Now, here's where things get really interesting. They're embracing advertising. Disney Plus is taking a page out of the cable business model's book by offering ad-supported services. Disney has now included Disney Plus Basic at $7.99 a month, complete with ads, while slyly raising the price of their premium option to $10.99 a month. They're also offering bundles like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for just $12.99, all containing advertising. By doing this, Disney is catering to different customer preferences. It's giving viewers more choices and flexibility. Now, you can opt for a lower-priced plan with ads or go ad-free with the premium option. Plus, there are those fantastic bundles that offer an array of content at a great price. But it's clear that the majority of the new items come with obligatory Disney advertisements. Disney are not the only ones, as the majority of businesses in the sector recognize advertising as a necessity for survival. Services like Netflix, HBO Max, and many others now offer less expensive memberships with advertisements, but will these cost-cutting measures and new services be sufficient to prevent Disney Plus from going bankrupt? Or is the business merely delaying its doomed future in the streaming world? Disney's future. No longer are the days of exponential growth, where streaming platforms seem to have a license to make money. What was once a market of huge profits has now entered a phase of bloodshed, a period where companies must change with the times or be left to sink. We're already seeing huge changes in the industry, and trust me, there are more to come. Disney, for instance, is taking some bold steps to save its streaming service. Disney's new ad-supported plan is gaining traction, with more sign-ups than any other platform. But hold on, it's not all smooth sailing for the House of Mouse. Even with this new revenue stream and an ever-expanding customer base, the journey to profitability for Disney isn't looking great. Investors are starting to panic that their investments are disappearing. Cash flows are all but distant memories. Instead of being the hot new thing on the market, investors and executives are beginning to accept that streaming may not be the golden goose they thought. But perhaps Disney's biggest issue in this entire story is the damage they've made to their own brand. Over the past 10 years, Disney pumped the market with content, from new shows to endless remakes. But they might have overcooked it, leaving many customers becoming bored with Disney content. Fans who once were desperate to see their favorite spin-off shows are now disappointed with the poor quality being rushed out. There's an oversupply of content, and not all of it lives up to the old Disney standard. Projects like the Boba Fett show or the live-action Disney remixes have, in some cases, devalued the Disney brand across the board. An oversupply of poor quality equals a decrease in loyalty, and Disney has fallen for one of the oldest economic traps in history. Another example of this is The Mandalorian Season 1 versus Season 3. The first season was the reason to get Disney Plus, as this was a high-budget, well-crafted series that looked like a movie. Season 3 however had much lower ratings, and you could tell the budget was lower and production value had fallen dramatically. Back in the day when Disney Plus was being pitched, one of their selling points was the huge library of content and classic cartoon collection. Now, the big question is, can Disney learn to adapt and change their future? At this stage no one can say, but one thing's for sure, they need to make serious changes if they want Disney Plus to survive. The entertainment industry is facing even more massive competition, with new players like Nintendo entering the movie market in style, who are definitely one to keep an eye on. Not to mention the writer's strike currently going on in Hollywood. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our exciting content.